I went through and finished AIifying the entire application. So we now have every single topic from Omni AIified. Um, what this means is that there's no query that hits a topic that cannot start with AI at this point. So it's another announcement. Please start all of your sessions here. The nice piece is that we are tracking all of this stuff. And so if I can find that link, I don't have it open still. But what I'm actually doing is every day I'm going through and checking the queries that were run, and I will be rerunning them and trying to tune the model so that it works better on those. This is like the single best way that we can figure out how tuning works on this stuff. I have no idea how the order works here, so sorry. But don't overthink it. Just type in stuff here. If it's bad, go do what you're going to do anyway. But I would really like us to try this and see what happens. And especially just try to like comment down things that are not working, like whether it's topic picking is bad, doesn't find the fields that you want, things like that. There's a whole bunch of reasons it can be off. Like, for example, I was doing a bunch of stuff in the opportunities table with new fields that I built that were not included in the AI. So just try it, see what happens. I tried to get everything. I also tried to add AI context on every single topic. Those might be bad because I have no idea what some of these are. If it moves you, feel free to go in and add AI context. You will also see that I built some assignments on different topics. So what do Chris and Brian like looking at? And this is a little contrived, but um, you can see that I made them the owners of the AWS cost reports data set. And this is not comprehensive because it's just going to pick one random topic. So you can see it picked cost and usage, but it will actually tell me that they are listed as the owners of these reports. And so I'm going to try to get ownership on all of these as well, so that if you have a question, you can have a list of names to go ask follow-ups. That is all.
Hey, Colin,
Yeah.
if you were to guess how long it took you from start to today with AIifying all these topics, what would you say?
It's kind of hard because there's so many like 5 second, or I shouldn't even say 5 second, like 2 minute refinements that you go pop in. Like I was actually taking, I mean, I can actually show you what I was doing yesterday. Um, if I can actually pull this back up. So all I did was I was going into Omni and I was looking through AI sessions. I don't know where it is. So let's go AI monitoring, answer quality. I probably should have gone and done this with AI, so that's embarrassing. But literally all I did was I took this query, um, and let's kill a bunch of these, and I filtered for OmniApp, and it's really like shockingly straightforward. And this is where it's like I would just encourage people not to overthink it. But when this runs, um, like I was just so Liam was looking at. Sorry, Quentin, to blow you up here. Just go punch it in. What trials is Quentin lost? If it does a good job, you leave it, and if it doesn't do a good job, and you figure out why, then you try to add a thing to it. Um, so like it really requires so little thought. So maybe the answer is none. So there you go. Quentin has never lost a trial. Now I might want to go validate that to go check. Um, but like you can actually go see the query is one, is closed, name's Quentin. So
Yeah, no,
this is
that's
bad.
accurate. It's fine. You can stop
Yeah,
there.
this is not correct. So this is actually an example where it's trying to look at live trials, and we should say this should hit, this should do reach trial.
Which it did when I did it earlier. It actually got it right.
So there's like this, and this is where now we can say like, okay, how would I go tune this? I actually don't have an obvious answer to how to go tune this, but this is like there's no rocket science to this. You go see what it does right. You see kind of which fields are getting overpicked, and you try to improve it. Um, like this is all there is to it. So I would say in the overall, just to show you like the kind of context that I was putting on some of the models that I don't understand, it's literally just like a couple words that's like I mean, I don't even know if this is true, but someone told me this was maybe owned by Conrad. So I said, this data set's owned by Conrad. It's webhook data. I don't know if this is true. I might go assign this out to someone later, but I'm just trying to add a little bit of context for what's in these things. And like another example was I had the Salesforce data and I had no idea what the leads table is for. So I asked Jonathan to come put some text in here. And I literally just said like, hey, can you put an overview of what this stuff is? And this is where you can actually start farming things out even and like getting the whole company involved and sort of describing what this thing is for. Um, it is very, very easy work. There's just like an infinite long tail because it's going to keep missing stuff and we want to keep going back and tuning it.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, I mean, just
Yep.
obviously this, we're able to position like how long it takes to build Omni out, but now like with AI, obviously we get the questions from people who
Yeah.
are totally in the unknown about just like, okay, they're benchmarking. And so it's
I think
helpful.
on a single topic, you could do it in 30 minutes. Like I
Yeah.
actually want to try to do some demo sessions where we get a data set and try to do a single topic because I really think it can be that fast. Honestly, the hardest part is just having real questions to ask. It's really hard to do in a contrived way because if you're not asking real questions, it's not going to be able to respond correctly because it's not going to be tuned for those questions. So like even just yesterday, I asked for stuff this year and I realized that we do a really good job with fiscal quarters. We don't do a good job with fiscal years. It just hits calendar year. So I went in and added context, but it's because I hadn't asked about anything this year yet. And sort of no one had even thought about that problem.
It almost seems like worth it to like dial in, like I think you're saying demoing on a set, like for a customer to be like, okay, what do you think is the biggest lift? And just do that. And then you can estimate a time for that. And then if they want to expand it to other more complicated things, they get a little bit of a benchmark because it's so contextual, I feel like, to like what is the data, like what is your model, how many tables do you have, all that kind of stuff. I make like a little bit of a tangent here. I'm curious, like if we're thinking at all about like a use case for the analyst teams that are customers about like how their organization is doing, like specifically the analytics data set. Like even seeing the questions that are asked by your organization and what is not asked, I think is kind of interesting and telling. Like if you're trying to, grow a nice data culture, like, so yeah, I'm just kind of curious if we're thinking about that at all, with how much is like we have in analytics in customer instances, like how can they use that?
We probably should think harder about it, honestly. Like we're doing a little bit of the modeling for it because it's the same as the internal data that's there, but I don't think that we've optimized very hard for it. It's sort of just like when Ariel and I have been poked at it.
Okay, maybe that's a follow-up. James and I were chatting about it yesterday, so maybe Ariel will hit you up.
I also think the meta piece that Colin, yours are talking about, I guess, like assigning out context to various owners and stuff too, is something I think we want to think through from a product perspective. It's like there's, and this is like a classic problem with modeling in general. Data teams own some of it, but they don't have all the context for the business too. And so how do you have the center of excellence data platform team that owns, ETLing and optimization, but then also sort of the context from the business, the marketing analysts and whatnot.
And even more so with this stuff, you want the marketing person to write down what the marketing analytics are. Like it doesn't matter what the data looks like. You're trying to describe the types of problems that the data set solves and what it's used for in the business. So it's actually even more important that end users are writing this kind of stuff because they aren't data problems, they're context problems.